This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to the AWS training program. And today we will be talking about Python programming language and its basics concept. So let's start with the agenda. Agenda for today's class is overview of Python. First, Python program. Data types. We'll talk about how to create a function. Local and global variable. For loop. We will talk about while loop, and we'll talk about if and else as well. So we'll be starting with the overview of Python language. Srikant, could you please mute yourself?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so Python is like a high-level programming language. When we say high level, that means you don't have to. I mean, you can write the program more like a English, like more in a human-readable format. When we say low-level language, that means you have to write a program which is understandable by machine language, right? So when we say high level, that means anyone, even a non-developer, a non-technical guy, if he or she will look at the code, they can little bit understand, because it would be like there's some if condition. So anyone can understand that, okay, if this condition is true, then do that. If this is not true, then do that. Something like this. So this is very easy to code. Anyone can learn to code in Python in just a few days. So nowadays, I mean, if I talk about few years back, C, C++, Java, those languages were in trend, and most of the applications were developed in those languages. But now, from last few years, and uh, mainly when the cloud came into the picture, Python is more common language now. Whether you are dealing with data, or you are doing image processing, or you are doing data analytics or machine learning or anything, Python, starting from very basics and going towards very advanced and very high, you can say very complex algorithm and machine learning stuff, everything can be achieved with the help of Python. Easy to read. Python code looks like simple English words. There is no use of semicolon or brackets. That's also one of the good point, because in C, C++ or Java, for a particular block, suppose you are writing a for loop, or you are writing a function, or you are writing a while loop, you have to provide a opening and closing bracket to explicitly specify that this is one block, this is my for loop. But Python does not have any concept of opening and closing brackets, and even the semicolon is not required. So just by looking at a simple file, text file, I would say, you can understand that, okay, what exactly the developer or uh, whoever has written the code, what exactly they want to achieve. It's free of cost available, not only for personal use, because there are many open source software which are available for personal use free of cost. But if you are using them in the enterprise and some with some extra features, right, they will be charging for that. But if I talk about Python, it's completely free of cost available. You use it, for your personal use, for your learning use, for your office project, you are doing machine learning, or any complex algorithm you are doing, that is completely free of cost available. And this is portable. That means you can write the code on one type of operating system. Suppose you are doing your development on Windows, you have a personal laptop, that is your Windows system, you can do the development over there. But later on, you want to run that code on the cloud or on a different operating system like Mac. Cloud is mostly like it's Linux based OS only. Suppose I want to execute my code on EC2 instance, that is Linux based OS, right? So you can write the code on any operating system, and you can execute that on another operating system without any issue. Libraries. There are many inbuilt libraries available for a specific use. Suppose you want to do like data analytics. So you will find some pandas library. Those are very helpful. You can deal with the data just like you are dealing with a structured table. That library will help you. Similarly, if you want to do some other stuff like statistics, or you want to do like image processing, or you want to connect with database, for every thing, every type of use case, there are libraries available. That means you don't have to write your own code. You simply import those libraries into your Python program, and then you can simply use those functionality. So less or more, it's very easy to start with Python, and as and when you come across any specific requirement, you can use the available libraries and you can achieve the required output. So these are basic, like a few details about Python. In case you are having any doubt or you want to add something to this, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll be starting the practice now. Okay, that's good. So I will be opening my AWS console because we will be doing the things practically now instead of showing theoretically. Just give me a moment. Where is that? Okay. So this is my Cloud 9. Okay, and you can create a folder if you want, just like I have done, right? I have created one folder, Python code, and I have created a few examples there for your easy reference. I can share all these programs via Google Drive so that you guys can open these files and you can practice that. But as of now, we will be starting with one file, hello world. Okay, and let me remove everything from here. We'll start from very beginning. Okay, so first of all, Python file should have one extension .py. That's the very first important thing. Second thing is, as we said, that it's very easy to write Python code. Usually when you are writing a program in C++ or Java, you have to write some first method like public, static, void, main, something like that. That's a standard definition of any simple Java program or C++ program. On the other side, Python, you don't need to import anything, don't need to define any method. You can directly start writing your first line. That I'm right that doing print command. So you can see that this program has only one single line. Welcome to Python programming, and I want to print that message. It's very simple. And we will do Ctrl S. We will save this file. You can give any name. Make sure that your file name is ending with .py. So we'll start with very small program, and then we will keep on adding new and new features, variables, constants, and like functions and other stuff we will keep on doing. Okay, so what I will do is I will just give me a moment. I just set up something so that we can show the program's output on the right side. Okay, so I just there are two windows. I just made them like vertically aligned like this one. You can do them horizontally also, and multiple things are there. So I like this one. On the left side I will write my program, on the right side I will see my output. Okay, so first of all we need to go to the directory where exactly your this hello world.py is available. So let me check where exactly I am in. I'm into /home ec2 environment. Okay, till here, and after that I need to go to Python code, and inside that there is hello world.py. Okay, so I will go to Python code. That's good. Okay, you can see that I'm doing the listing and all the examples are available here. So I did this over the weekend. I will provide all these programs to you. Okay, so we will run our hello world.py, the first program we will run. So the command is Python. So since this Cloud9 is a development environment provided by AWS itself, and as we discussed in the very first week of our training program, that Cloud9 comes with most common programming language pre-installed. That means you don't need to install Python on Cloud9. But on the other side, in case you are trying to do all this practice on your local system, maybe on Mac or maybe on Windows, that means you need to install Python first. So that should not be a big deal. You simply go to Google and download Python for like Linux based OS or Mac or Windows, and hardly like it's a 5 minutes activity. Within 5 minutes you can install Python on your system. So for easy practice, we can do the practice on our Cloud9, because any other previous activities also, whether it was like cloning a repository, pushing some code, or many more things we did on Cloud9 only. So Cloud9 has my entire practice stuff available. So let me execute this program Python, and then my program name is hello world.py, and enter. And you can see now it is working perfectly fine. Welcome to Python programming. Okay, so before we move ahead, is there any doubt? Because different people may have different programming background, or someone wants to start from very basics, or someone may be aware about basic concept of Python, right? So just share your views, or if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Any doubt, Sahil? Okay, let's move to the next one. So now what we will do is we will declare some variable. In other programming language like C, C++, or Java, we need to define the type of the variable, whether it is an integer, or it is in string, or it is in double, or it is a boolean. But here Python is very smart. You don't have to provide the type of the variable. That's not required. You simply provide a variable name and provide some value. Based upon the value, it will automatically understand like what should be the data type. For example, I will say name is equal to, I will provide my name Neeraj, right? So since it's a string, right? So it will take the data type automatically. There can be some other value. Maybe I would say age is equal to 32. This is integer, so it will take the data type accordingly. You can define the variable like this. And if you want to print them, it's very easy. You simply type print and then the variable name, right? So I will print that. Control S, and let's execute this. Python hello world, and you can see now it is displaying my name. Now can we display this age just like this way? Let's try that. Print, and I will type age. Okay, and because we will not understand what exactly is the value or something, what you can do is you can put some hard coded stuff here. I will tell you. You can say like name is equal to, okay, and then this one. So what I did is I provided a hard coded string, this one, whatever is in the single quotes, name is equal to, that's hard coded, plus whatever is the value of name. So it should display name is equal to Neeraj. Similarly, here we can do age is equal to, and then we will do plus and this one. Okay, let's try to execute now. You can see that it is failing, although it's displaying few things. Welcome to Python programming, and name is equal to Neeraj. You can see that at least two things are coming. But for the third one, print age is equal to age, it's failing. And what is the error? Type error, data type error. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. Basically, what you are trying to do here is, this one is string, right? String means text, and this one is integer. Python does not allow you to concatenate string and some other data type. You cannot do that. It can concatenate only string with string. So what's the simplest solution for that? Whenever you get such type of error, you simply convert your non-string value into string. There's a function str, and then put your variable or whatever it is in the bracket like this. What it will do is it will convert your age into string, and then this string and this string can be concatenated easily. Okay, so I will save this program and I will run the program again, and you can see now, welcome to Python programming, and name is equal to Neeraj and age is equal to 32. One more thing you noticed is that even my line number 9 was having some issue, some error, still my program ran like it was displaying this line, welcome to Python programming, name is equal to Neeraj. This will not happen in other programming languages like Java or C++. I will tell you why. There's a concept of compiling and interpreting. C, C++, Java, these programs are compiled first. That means those programs cannot be executed directly. Those programs are converted into a binary format. That means compiling. At the time of converting into binary format, if there is any issue, just like this one, like cannot convert, cannot concatenate string with integer, that type of error will appear at the compile time itself. You don't have to actually wait for the execution time. It will fail at compile time. But Python, on the other side, is not a compiler. It does not use compiler. It uses interpreter. Interpreter means it will interpret your program line by line. That means if first line is correct, it will execute that, irrespective of that any upcoming line may have some issue. That's why it started with this line, and this line was absolutely fine. It executed that. Then it declared to variable, there was no syntax error, so it executed that as well. Then printing the name, there was no error, it printed that also. Only in the line 9 it faced some challenge, and then it displayed that error. So Python executes your program line by line, and only after execution you will come to know like what exactly is the problem. So you can say that it's a positive thing as well as negative, because positive in the sense like just because of one line is not working, other lines will work and other line will display their output as well. The drawback is like only at the runtime, only after execution you will come to know about that issue. Before that you will never know what exactly is the problem with the Python code. Okay, so with this we are done with like variables as well. So I am stopping here for 2 minutes. In case you are having any doubts, you can ask me. Any doubt from your side? Yes, one.
Oh, I'm good, Nilesh.
Okay, that's good.
Neeraj?
Yes, Fortune.
Yeah, so is the entire class going to be just basics? Because I'm clear on Python basics, and I'll maybe watch other videos that I missed.
Yeah, you can do
rather
that
than
because today's class is definitely on basics. Tomorrow we'll talk about little bit advanced, and after
Okay.
that we'll talk about PySpark. So if you want, you can skip today's class.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, okay. What about others? You want to continue?
I want to
Because
continue.
I got this request in the beginning of the training program that we have to start from very basic. Srikant, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please continue, Neeraj.
Yeah, I want to continue as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move to the next next thing. What is that? Let me check. Next is functions. Okay, we'll talk about it. So what exactly is function and why do we need that? So function is something like if you want to do something repeatedly, then better to use function. For example, you want to convert some number or you want to do some calculation on top of something. So instead of doing that calculation every time, you can define a function. We'll do that. Okay, so let me delete all these things and we'll define a function. So I will delete this. So whenever you define a function, first you have to type def, def. That means defining a function, and function name. That can be anything, completely up to you. So I will give a name display message. Okay, and then opening and closing bracket, and then colon. This is the like standard way to define it. What is this line? I don't know. Okay, forget, I mean just ignore that, it's nothing. So You can write anything inside that function. You want to declare method, you want to print something. So what I will do is let me print something. I will print. Okay, so I will say welcome to AWS training. Okay, and then I will write another statement, print hello from Python, and then I will write another statement, print. I'm doing print as of now, but I'm just telling you what's the concept. I would say happy learning. Okay, so I have just defined a function. Defining a function does not mean that it will execute it. It will not execute. I can show you. I will go here and I will execute my program Python hello world, and done. You see that it is simply saying welcome to Python programming. Only one line is printed, this one. These lines are not printed. Why? Because we just defined the function. We did not call that function. We did not execute that function. This function will be executed only when you are calling it. And how to call? Same thing, but without def, like this, and opening and closing bracket. This means I am calling this function. And now if I will run this program again on the right side, you can see now, welcome to Python programming, welcome to AWS training, hello from Python, happy learning. All these things are displayed. You may be thinking, what's the benefit of defining a function? Because I can directly write these 3 lines, right? I can, but suppose I need to do this thing multiple times, 10 times. That means I need to write these 3 lines 10 times. That's not a good idea. First of all, it would increase the number of lines. Another challenge is, suppose tomorrow I have to make some change, a minor change. That means I have to make that change at 10 places, which is very time consuming as well as error prone. It may be possible that you will update at 8 places and you will forward at 2 places. That's possible, right? Let me show you. I will call this function 3 times, or maybe like this. Okay, if I will run this program, you see now these 3 lines. Well, just give me a moment. So welcome to AWS training, hello from Python, and happy learning. These 3 lines are coming 4 times, right? Very easy. I did not have to write these 3 lines multiple times. No, I am simply calling my method multiple times. That's one benefit. And another benefit, as I said, if you want to update anything, suppose you want to write like welcome to AWS cloud training. I want to add one word cloud. So I will just add in my function definition. I don't have to change here, not required. Now if I will run the program, it will display cloud also. See now, displaying clouds, cloud, like this. This way we create a function and accordingly we can execute it from multiple places. That's the benefit of defining a function. Another benefit is, let's talk about the next level. Another benefit is you can parameterize the function. This time I did not parameterize it. That means I'm not giving any input. I'm simply calling this, and whatever is happening inside the function, that is printed. But I want to parameterize it. Let me make it like another method, def. Okay, or let me play with this one only. Okay, I will give a parameter name. Okay, and now I will do print, and here I will say hard coded hello. Okay, and after that I will provide the name. Which name? Whatever you will pass. That means you can use the same function display message for multiple persons. Let's try now. So this is just defining the function. Again, like it will not execute. I will call this function. So what I will do is function name display message, and I will pass some name, Neeraj. Okay, and let me call this function again with different name. Here I will give like Srikant, right? Okay, so now the function is same, as you know, this is same function display message, but input is different and it will behave accordingly. Let's try to execute it. So we'll execute our program and you can see now, hello Neeraj, hello Srikant. If you log in into your net banking, right, somewhere it will display your name. Welcome, Mr. Your name, right? Do you think that they have like hard coded everyone's name? Not possible, right? Millions of users are there. That means they have some generic function to display the name. Only the input to that function will change. So they may be reading your name from a database, and then the name is passed to a function. That function is displaying your particular name on the website. Similarly, there is some other section in your net banking which is displaying your current balance, displaying some other details, loans, this one, that one, right? So for every individual user, the value will be different. But from a coding point of view, someone has written a function which takes some arguments, single argument or even multiple arguments you can pass. Here I am just using only single name. If you want to pass multiple, you can type like name and age. You can do like this. In that case, it's up to you whether you want to use that two parameters or not. You see here, it's giving error. You see that no value for argument age in the function call, because this function display message is expecting two things, name and age, but you are passing only one. It's failing now. You cannot execute this. So let's pass some age also. So you can pass here 32. You can pass here 24 like this, and we will execute now. But it will still display these names only. You know why? You see that hello Neeraj, hello Srikant, because you are passing two arguments, that's fine, but you are printing only one, so it will not give any error. It's okay. You can pass multiple arguments. Inside that you want to use all arguments or one argument, it's completely up to you. But if you want to display age as well, you can do that. Otherwise it's absolutely fine. Okay, now one more thing, let's try. Suppose age you want to keep like I would say some default value. You are expecting that people may not provide the age. So in that case, you can do age is equal to and provide some default value. I would say not available. Okay, age is equal to not available. What does that mean? It means that if user will provide the age, then we are good. But if user is not providing the age, it will consider age as not available and it should not fail. So let me remove the age and you will come to know. I will remove this age from here, and this time you see that it's not giving any error. It is not complaining that this function is expecting two arguments and you are providing only one argument. It's not complaining, because the second argument is optional. That means it's up to you. You want to provide, you can do. If not providing, then it will take some default values. Let's print here so that we can verify what exactly is happening. So I will say hello this one, and here I will type age, and here I will type age, and you know it may fail, so I will put string because it's integer value. So I will do like this. Okay, so now it should not fail. Why it's giving? Okay, error is disappeared now. So I'm calling display message, I'm giving the name, I'm giving the age also. And another example, I'm just giving the name, I'm not providing the age. Let's try to execute. So I will run this program and you can see now. Hello Neeraj, age 32, because I provided both arguments. Another one is hello Srikant, age not available, because we did not provide. But my program is not failing. My program does not have any error. It's working perfectly fine. So whenever you define a function, you need to understand, do you need any arguments, or it is like function without arguments, or you can provide single argument, multiple arguments. You can define some default values so that if user are not providing, then it's absolutely fine. Okay. So I'm stopping here for 2 minutes. You are having any doubt, you can ask me.
No, Neeraj, it's very clear. Please continue.
Okay, that's good. Let's move to the next one. What is next? Next one, I think, should be local and global variable. Okay, that's good. We'll do that. So right now I'm showing everything in a single file for just like easy reference. But later on, I will provide all these programs to you. You can go through it and you can practice on your cloud time. Okay. So the next is local and global variable. Okay. So suppose I am defining some variable here. Name is equal to Sahil. Okay. And let's define age also. Age is equal to 28. Okay. Now inside the function, I can define these variables again. These are global variable, that whatever you are declaring at the main level. Okay, Python is completely driven by the indentation. You see this, after giving a function name, these two lines are like indentation with one tab. That means these two lines are under this function. Similarly, if we will write for loop, if condition, I will show you that indentation will play one important role. Whatever is there without indentation, that means starting from very beginning, that is your main like flow. So you see that the first print statement, welcome to Python programming, name is, all these are at very beginning. So these are my global variable. Now here also inside this, I can define these variables. So let me remove the parameters first, because otherwise this will be creating problem. We'll delete this. And here I will define these variables again. Okay, Control C. And here I will define. So name I will change. I will make it Neeraj. Age I will change it 32. Okay. Now you may be thinking that same variables are defined 2 times, but the scope of these variables is just limited to this function. The scope is not outside available. That means if I am printing these 2 things here, it will display Neeraj and age 32. But if I print the same thing outside, it will display this one, Sahil and 28. Let's try that. So I will call this function so that you can see what's happening inside it. Okay, let's do one thing. I will copy these 2 lines, Control C, and I will print here. So what do you expect? What should it print? And after that, I will call my function display message. And after that, I will again call these 2 lines. Let's see what it will display. Okay, now try to understand the things. These 2 lines are under this function because the indentation you can check. These 2 lines are part of your main program. You are calling your display message, and these 2 lines are again part of your main program, right? So when these 2 lines will work, because function definition will not do anything, first of all. So don't think that this will print. No, this will not do anything. Printing will happen from here. Welcome to Python programming. Then it will print this one, name and age, and it should take from the global, that is Sahil and 28. Then we'll call display message, which is this one, and there are the same variable name defined inside the function. So this time it will display Neeraj and 32. And again, I'm again calling this print statement. It will again display Sahil and 28. So these defined the variable inside the function. These are known as local variables, and outside these are known as global variables. Let's try this. You can see now. Welcome to Python programming. Initially, hello Sahil and age 28, and then hello Neeraj age 32, and again back hello Sahil age 28. This is local and global variable. If you will define something additional, suppose I will specify here like company. Okay, I would pass some name like TCS. Okay, where I passed company TCS, right? If you try to print this, outside it will fail. I will show you. So I will print here inside. Inside is fine because it's available, right? So I will provide here, right? If I will do the same outside of function, it will fail. You can see that even before execution, it's failing. It is saying undefined variable company. It does not understand what is company variable because you defined inside this function. So the scope of this variable is limited to this function only. It is not accessible outside. You cannot do that. But if you are defining something outside, that can be used inside also. Okay, I will delete these two names from here, two variables from here. I'm deleting them. Okay, I am defining only company is equal to TCS, and I will delete these lines also to make it simple. Okay, now two variables defined outside which has global scope. That means your function can access those as well. And there is a local variable company which is accessible within this function. If I will run this, it will display all three. Let's try. You can see that. Hello Sahil, age 28 and company TCS. Two variables accessed from global scope and one variable accessed from inside the function. So these are available inside function, but this company variable is not available outside of the function. That is the concept of local and global variable. So I hope that's clear to you. Okay.
Yes, Neeraj. Yeah.
That's good. So let's move to the next one. Next one is, I think we have for loop. Yeah, for loop is there. So we'll talk about this for loop. Okay. For loop is used to do something repeatedly. Suppose I want to print something 100 times. Do I need to write print statement 100 times? No, that's not a good idea. I will not do that. I will write some for loop. That means I'm asking that could you please do this particular thing so many times. Let's try that. So let me delete all these things. I will, or let's try with this one itself. So I will write a for loop. For, you can take some variable name, maybe anything. I can take I. In range, you can provide some range 1, 5 and colon and enter. Now whatever you will write here or whatever you do here, that will repeat like 1 to 5. It starts with 1, but 5 is not included. That's like pattern of Python. So basically it will go 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that. So I will do print. Let's display I. Okay, I will display I. If you want to display something else, let's do one more thing. Let's display I star 2. Star means multiply. So I is an integer, right? So let's keep it simple because otherwise it will be complex to understand. Let's keep it I only. We'll display I, and at the same time I will call this function display message. It does not need anything, right? So I will do this one, display message, right? This. What I'm doing is I want to print the value of I and I want to display this message five times. I mean 1 to 5 means it will go 4 times. So let's run this. You see this. Welcome to Python programming. Hello Sahil, age 28, company TCS, and then oh, we are calling here also. Oh, that's why. Let me delete this. I thought why I was expecting that the I should come first and then only it should call the function. But line number 13 I need to delete. Just give me a moment. Control D to keep it simple. Okay, we'll run it again. You see now, welcome to Python programming. It will display the value of I. Initially the value of I is 1. and it will call the function hello Sahil, age 28, company TCS. Next time the value of I is 2, and the function again calling hello Sahil, age 28, company TCS, then 3, then 4, like this. If you want to pass this value I to the function, you can do that as well, but accordingly you need to change the function definition. But anyway, you understood like how to use a for loop and how to do something multiple times. Okay, so any doubt in the for loop?
So Neeraj, if we want to print the same thing with the global variables, we need to print it outside the function, right? Outside the defined function.
No, it's available inside also. You can see that I am displaying hello and age inside the function, and it's taking the value from here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Can you repeat your question? I think I could not understand your question completely.
No, I'm a little bit confused with this because I thought it's only displaying what's inside the defined function.
That's what it is doing. Okay, variable it can access from outside also. If you're talking about variable, you can see that name and age I have not defined inside the function. These are defined outside global, but function can access them. I'm doing hello and name, it's accessing this value Sahil, and age also it's accessing. If you will define these variables again in the function, they will override. If you're not defining them again, it will take from outside.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for today. Tomorrow we'll be talking about a few more advanced topics of Python.